The following is a presentation of TFNN. Time to talk about your health. Living a primal lifestyle.
We have Mike from Chicago on the line, and he has a question about digestion.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, guys. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
First of all, I just wanted to say that I love the show. I think it's great programming, and I'm very much of a like mind when it comes to, taking control of your own health and certainly doing your own research.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now your hosts, Nico Haan and Paige Clarke.
Good morning. I'm Nico Haan, and welcome to Living a Primal Lifestyle, where we explore a return to a more balanced, natural, wild world.
So we can recover our natural health and regain our rights and freedoms. I'm Paige Clarke.
And it's a beautiful morning in downtown Clearwater. It's 54 degrees, going up to about 70 today, so it's kind of nice just before the rain hits tomorrow, Paige.
Yeah, here it comes, I guess.
I guess so.
If you have any questions, you can email me at paige@tfnn.com.
And, of course, you can reach me at Nico, Nico, N-I-C-O, at TFNN.com. You got any questions, any suggestions for the show? And, of course, we're taking your phone calls at 877-927-6648. So I was watching CNN when I got home, a little usual afternoon. I can take it for about 5 or 10 minutes, but a lot of times good stuff comes in there. And I found this article afterwards. This was also in the St. Pete Times. Doctors are seeing more people in their 30s and 40s with colon cancers. And this is a study that...
they're reporting that it's on the rise. So what's going on?
Yeah, it's always the case. Of course, they started most of the screening at the ages of 50. And I think where they recommend like every 5 years going. I've never done it. I usually...
Well, folks, screening is not prevention. Screening is disease detection, which enables there to be more treatments. Mm-hmm. And with a lot of cancer, screening results in false positives and unnecessary treatments. But I also understand that screening can also catch things in an earlier state. Yeah,
I have a client who had some polyps. She went through her screening when she was in her 50s, and they found some polyps, so she went ahead and did the surgery. I do think, though, that the polyps don't necessarily mean that you're going to have cancer, or they turn to cancer, or they may get cancer. And my understanding is that it's such a slow disease that most people die of natural causes before it even does. But then you have the other side, like my dad, who had cancer, was never diagnosed in his colon until the very, very last stage, and then it was too late.
Right.
So, you got both sides.
I didn't realize your father had colon cancer.
Yeah, pancreatic cancer, really. But it's in the same area and the same type of symptoms.
No, not really.
No?
No. I mean, the pancreas is our enzymes and really our sugar and our both proteolytic and digestive enzymes. But you're right. I mean, it's an internal organ cancer.
Yeah.
But
I really feel it's the causes are kind of the same. It's a different organ, but it's all part of the digestive system, all part of the sugar regulation system. And my dad liked to eat ice cream, at night. If you do it once a week, I think not too bad. But first of all, you got something cold going into your body, probably not good for your internal organs. They like to be warm. The other thing is high in sugar and fat together.
Yeah, the combination together, even though it tastes good. But that's
it tastes very good. But then if you have a little bit, it's not too bad. But if you've got a bowl every night, sooner or later, something's going to happen.
You accidentally eat a bowl every night.
Yeah.
Let's go back to a couple facts. Okay. It's the third most common cancer in America with men and women, more than 95,000 new cases diagnosed this year, according to the Cancer Society. Now, folks, what we want to do is try and figure out, as I said, it's not about the screening. I mean, screening is important, but really let's take it a step back and let's start figuring out how do we prevent colon cancer. Well, when we don't, the colon is where we absorb our nutrition. It's really where we do our water balance. Mm-hmm. And if there's not good hydration, then your body's going to absorb water. And if in the colon are a lot of toxin, what are you going to do? You're going to reabsorb toxins.
Right.
So really it's about getting the good stuff in and making sure before you do anything, you do. You move it out. And that's really important.
Well, I think this is a clear indication that the common diet here in America, and maybe around the world now, because we're getting industrialized everywhere, is the huge problem.
I agree with you. And guess what? We're having a talk.
Yeah.
A problem with our food.
Yeah.
February 2nd.
That's right.
So if you're
February
local.
2nd. CC Riders at 6 p.m. on Tuesday.
In delightful downtown
a week from
Dunedin.
today. Yeah.
That's right.
So, yeah, the problem with modern food, I can spit it out here, is huge because it's just the other straw. You know, we've got all these toxins. We are spraying pesticides. We're breathing in the air. It's not quite as good. Quality of water may not be that great. And then your food is not that great. And, you know, it's just one more straw on the camel's back that sooner or later is going to break. And it's getting younger and younger. It shows me that the average American is eating badly.
I agree, and not able to process the foods that they eat and the toxins that they're exposed to. You know, getting back to this article, the question was raised about whether screening should begin earlier, and the expert who wrote it said most experts feel probably not. Mm-hmm. You know, one of the doctors at Moffitt Cancer Center here in Tampa said she thought the current guidelines were enough. But really what we want to suggest to you is that you work on trying to make sure you're helping your body remove the toxins so we don't reabsorb them in the colon.
Well, I also have a problem with the procedure itself. It's very invasive. You know, they knock you out. You're going under anesthesia. That's a problem.
I've had 2 clients who got extremely sick because of injured or puncture of the colon. It can actually be a life-threatening. Yeah. You know, there's other things. There's some tests, and I don't recall the actual name, but you should check with your doctor about alternatives to colonoscopy. There's always the fecal blood and a cold test and the rectal exam. I think that's a good move. And then if there's something suspicious, then you can choose to do something more invasive.
And my doctor had told me that actually, she says, you know, this test is just as good. It finds the blood, which is what you want. The polyp may not necessarily be the problem itself. Pollen ruptures or something like that. Then the
well, just like I don't believe necessarily the tumor is the problem in a cancer patient. Right. The tumor is the body's ability to, attempt to surround abnormal cell development. Yeah. So it might be actually what's saving your life. So who knows? Maybe the polyps are too.
It's possible. It's like I said, I've never had one of those invasive procedures where they stick that thing up you and into your colon, and I never want to. So I've been taking that other test, and it's always worked out fine. Yeah. And I happen to have a problem once in a while if I have a hemorrhoid or something that does bleed. So
you get suspect of it.
I get suspect of it myself when I wipe, and it's a really bright red, and it happens once in a weird while, usually from eating some kind of nut or something like that.
It's a strain, and really it's a sign too that you might be a little low on bioflavonoids. Mm-hmm. And bioflavonoids you find in the pith of citrus. Mm-hmm. So many times that'll help.
Yeah, pith being the white. Cool
the white cool stuff. Yeah.
So everybody has to make up their own mind and what they want to tolerate. But if you have a first-degree relative that's a father, mother, sister, brother, or a child who is diagnosed, you probably have to start screening yourself. They say. So you have to choose which screen do you want. Do you want to poop on a little plate, or do you want to have something shoved up your rectum? That's the way I kind of look at it. You know, it's just.
I would advise people to talk with their doctors about this situation, but know that you do have choices. Many people just feel like they hit that big 5-0 and they've got to go right in for the colonoscopy. And I think that the fecal occult exam is, or some of these other new tests, may be a better solution. Yeah. You know,
folks, please subscribe to our Health Signals newsletter. I have one that came out last week. Next week, another one. So a lot of good information about what we're talking about here. And also, what are they going to order?
Well, you're going to order some Primal Edge so you can stay healthy and wealthy while you're trading.
Yeah, and you can use those Tiger Dollars naturally also. And we're taking your phone calls here, folks. If you want to give us a buzz, it's 877-927-6648. And Paige and I will be right back. You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Nico and Paige take your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Good morning and welcome back to Living a Primal Lifestyle. Okay, so last segment maybe we were talking about a couple gross things, but you know what? You know, there's some really gross stuff in food. Let's kind of go over a couple of seven or so gross things that you may actually find in food. You know, we've all heard about people finding bloody Band-Aids or, I don't know, condoms and French fries and some stuff that really shouldn't be in our food, folks. But even the not-so-obvious things, there are a lot of things that if we knew, we would prefer not to have in our food. Number one.
Well, I think, first of all, we should state that probably this stuff is mostly in the packaged food that you get from a fast food place.
Oh, I'm sure.
Or maybe a fast food restaurant, and maybe even some other restaurants, but generally if you're buying food at a grocery store, you may not find this, but you may, and that's why we have to be so picky.
Yeah, we have to talk about it. You know, the first one is arsenic. You know, farm-fed chickens and pigs, you know, they use arsenic to help fight off infections. You wouldn't find this if you're buying your, you know, chicken and hog food from organic farmer. But, you know, you're going to find this in these mass feeding lots. These animals live in filthy conditions. It turns their flesh the pink shade that is considered appetizing. It really isn't, actually. If you see more of a foraging pig's meat, it's a lighter color, correct? Yeah. You know, there's nothing appetizing, folks, about poison.
No, that's for sure. And the second thing listed on here is poop. When animals' intestines are torn apart during slaughter, the fecal material will spill out onto their flesh. So when people buy meat, they're getting, well, sorry, crappy food. Yeah,
you know, there's also the industrial runoff, folks. You know, who wants to head down to the local river, whip out a glass and gulp down some, you know, toxic river water? You know, where these animals are raised in these confined animal feeding operations, where a lot of these processing plants are, there is a risk of danger and contamination to the water supply. So be conscious of that.
Yeah, there's the next thing is called calf stomach lining. Many cheeses are made with rennet. An enzyme taken from the calf stomach lining. Does eating baby stomachs make you sick to yours? To my stomach, yeah, I guess. Well, it would make me sick. You know, I don't know why this stuff is in there, but it seems like they throw a lot of material of the animals back into the animal anyway. when they're feeding in the feedlots, we talked about a couple of weeks ago, that they're just bunching all this stuff into a big slurry, including the blood, and kind of liquefying it, and then it doesn't really matter because you can't really identify what's in there. But that's pretty gross.
So number 5, DDT. Think of this as the double-decker of toxins. Even though DDT was eliminated back in the U.S. years ago due to birth defects and so forth, it is an environmental toxin that particularly accumulates in animal fats. One of the reasons why we want to make sure that we're, if we are eating animal foods, that we're eating animals that eat healthy things.
Yeah, and of course DDT was used many, many years ago as a pesticide, but also we were actually spraying people in the streets of France and Germany, and I didn't think you could really tell what the effects are, because the effects of war itself are probably very similar to getting, doused with a chemical like this. So there was no way to track it, and only until after the war was gone and we started using this on our crops did we see the connection between DDT and all kinds of deformities and, problems. And it's, of course, still in our soil. So that's a huge problem.
Number 6 is pus. Again, many of these factory farmed cows, the crowded conditions, they incur reoccurrent mastitis. Mastitis is infection in the mammary ducts, and so it's quite possible that you're encouraged. A lot of people say, well, the milk is pasteurized. Well, trust me, they're not scraping out the dead bugs. They're just, then you're just drinking dead bugs. So I don't know if that's better. And then finally, the pink slime, which
that's
made famous.
Something that it's very famous because of the picture itself. But if you ever see the process of how they make this stuff, I mean, it's pretty gross. They pretty much take a whole chicken and they kind of just put it into a plunger type of thing and they liquefy it. Bones, feathers, everything, and that's what comes up with the pink slime.
And that's what the kids are eating, these nuggets? Is that
the nuggets, and there's one company that doesn't use that. I think that's Chicken McNuggets, but then they fry it in stuff that you wouldn't want fried in. It's a huge problem in our industry of food, and this is one of the things that we always stress.
I don't even want to give it that title.
Yeah, the
it's
food.
Not for,
You're right,
I want to say, let's just look at this picture. I don't know if Al can show a picture of what kind of
this
highlighting
is kind of like
what
a
we're
sub that you would get at one of the famous sub places, maybe Subway or something like that.
But we just need to say, what are people ingesting? I don't even know if we want to even call this foods. It's sad. But let's go on to something more pleasant.
Well, the thing I want to stress, too, is that if somebody else is preparing your food, you really don't know what's in it. I worked in Pizza Joint when I was a kid in college. I know what those people were, how sloppy it was and how dirty a lot of times it was. And you see people spitting in things and, just because they think it's cool. You don't know, unless you're fixing your food yourself, what you're really getting. I don't care what the restaurant is, you're subjected to these kinds of things. So you really have to start thinking about fixing your own food, whether you do it all on one day, like Sunday, like some people do who commute and things, or whether you just take your time every day and
do it more like the Europeans do, where they hit the market every day and buy fresh food and go home and prepare it, instead of having, we've got these huge refrigerators where we're storing mass food. That's another thing a lot of people don't understand, that, a lot of this meal prep, I understand it, and I think it's probably better than a lot of the, grabbing something on the go. But there's a lot of research on how our bodies react to leftovers, because bacterial colonies begin growing as the food is stored, and there's a lot of research on how leukocytosis, where's the storm of white blood cells that rise to fight the threat of this infection. So I've gotten more and more where I say no thank you to leftovers. It's maybe better to, like you say, prepare, but still do your
fridge full of leftovers.
Well, I'll have to send you that article on that research done in Europe. It'll kind of curl your toes. Speaking of that, even though we have some of this toxic frankenfood that we're exposed to, you know what? Detoxification and getting rid of toxins is really something we were designed to do. We were designed to be self-cleansing, self-healing beings.
True.
We really were, and somehow or another we've forgotten this. And, we don't want to focus always on this negative and gross things. We want to show you that there are things that you can do in your home without spending a lot of money that can truly help your body get rid of toxins and be healthier all the way around. You know, what are the 5 major benefits of gentle detoxing with natural things that you may find in your refrigerator?
Well, the
You know,
number one thing is reducing inflammation, and we always talk about that. Every aspect of our food industry is giving us inflammation somehow, whether it's the pesticides or whether what they're adding to the food, or just basically because the food is not that great.
Correct. I mean, I'm doing a talk, the next on Wednesday, double hitter actually.
Tomorrow,
Yeah, we're doing it at CC Riders, and then also we're doing another talk in Largo at the Chamber of Commerce building. Inflammation Nation, you know, why are we so inflamed, and what can we do about it?
Yeah.
You know, the other thing is doing a detox helps to boost energy, Nico.
Yep.
And we all need that. Kind of helps get those detoxifying organs producing things.
So let's pick this up after the break. I want to remind the folks to please pick up some Primal Edge daily supplement. We've worked very hard to bring this product to you, and it really does work. So please pick that up.
Yep, and you can use your Tiger Dollars to do this on the TFNN website and pick up our beautiful Health Signals newsletter twice a month. Good stuff.
Yep.
We'll see you after the break.
It's,
877-977-6428. Did I say it wrong?
877-927-6648.
Okay.
Yep, that's close enough.
You've heard Nico Haan as co-host of Living a Primal Lifestyle, which airs every Friday at noon Eastern Time on TFNN, and would like to tell you about the personal training studio that Nico is the owner and president of, Performance Training. Since 1998, Nico has trained individuals and groups to improve their health both mentally and physically. As a certified personal trainer, Nico's main focus is on demonstrating exercises correctly to avoid injury and teaching his clients how to manage their past injuries while getting the most out of their personal training sessions. The Performance Training Studio is filled with unique training equipment that enhances balanced results at a faster rate while minimizing damage and discomfort. For more information, you can give Nico a call at 727-418-8740 or email him at nico@tfnn.com. Let him know you heard him on TFNN and save up to $100 on a special package just for TFNN listeners. Act today.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen, live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den, absolutely free, for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. You know, when you hear the word detox, you immediately think that it requires fasting or some special formula. It's really much simpler than that, and doctors have said that it's really even household ingredients that you might have, like apple cider vinegar, cucumbers, or watermelon, do this. And every day we're kind of exposed to environmental pollutants, preservatives, heavy metals, pesticides, cancer-causing chemicals, and we inhale these, ingest these, or just merely come in contact with these, and they're stored in our tissues and cells, mostly our fat cells. And this is a problem, so detoxing becomes very important. But there are some good signs of detox, too, that we should discuss before we go on.
Well, I don't know if they're necessarily good, but they're pretty obvious that you're toxic.
You're
Some of these signs of a toxic overload include constipation and or bloating and gas.
Yeah, and headaches, fatigue, muscle aches and pains.
Nausea or belly fat. You know, storing belly fat shows that you're overloaded and your body is not able to process things and having to store. It's too exhausted to deal with things.
Skin problems is a huge one, too, and we see this in teenagers, not so much that they just come in puberty. I think also they're eating very badly, and I think if you clean up your act at that level, then you're not going to have as much problem. But there's also food cravings.
Right, low energy, and if you have bad breath or mood swings, these are all signs that the body's kind of in a state of overwhelm.
Yeah.
So what can you do? Like Nico said, you know, it may be the answer may be very well just already in your refrigerator. Apple cider vinegar is a wonderful fermented beverage. You know, you get the good kind of apple cider vinegar, and lemon, and the cucumbers, watermelon, and you know, many of these things will help you enjoy many benefits, such as you know, we started talking about reducing inflammation and boosting energy, but supporting your digestion, weight loss, cleansing the liver, and promoting the healthy skin.
Huge thing.
Yeah.
So you can use things, of course, we mentioned the cucumber, we mentioned the watermelon, lemon, lime. Grapefruit is really good. I noticed a lot of citrus in here, too, that works pretty well. And like you said, I think some of the properties of the citrus, like the pith, are really good at helping us detox, too, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. Well, so the pith is where we have a lot of the bioflavonoids. And, you know, I like to say if there's any white in a food, you know, pay attention. There's some magical phytochemicals usually in the white of food. But let's get back to those essential oils. That's what, you know, you see the citrus there. We're highly focused. You know, sure, take your lemon and limes, you know, put a little bit of the rind into your water because there's essential oils in the rind. You know, maybe use a clinical grade essential oil, like I have the Ameo oils that I like from Zija, that I feel have been proven that they're, you know, pure. And, you know, the benefits of lemon water, if everybody could incorporate one very healthy move, is to start their day in the morning. If you're going to have coffee, if you're going to have tea, if you're going to have breakfast, the first thing, rehydrate. Because all night, you know, we're detoxifying and we're getting dehydrated as we're processing these toxins. So restore that with a little fresh, warm lemon water.
And
ancient Ayurvedic.
Primal Edge, I would think, go right along.
Absolutely, sure. But I mean, even before you do anything, get some water in you, 16 ounces. Yeah, maybe with a little Himalayan salt. In fact, actually, I had an email from one of our listeners, and he was talking about, you know, we were talking about Dr. Bangladesh.
Yes.
Okay, and I may be saying his name wrong, and I apologize. He was the Iranian doctor who used
Dr.
water.
B.
Yeah, Dr. B, who used water for most cures. And Barry from Colorado had started enjoying using, you know, Himalayan or healthy air-dried sea salts or Himalayan salts to a half a gallon of water, and I highly recommend that. Why do we do that? Because we are trace mineral deficient. Now, another thing that I recommend is our Primal Edge, because the Primal Edge has all the necessary primal trace minerals, as well as the macro minerals, as well as the aminos and the essential fatty acids in a very usable ionic liquid form.
Yeah, and of course, its base is the fulvic and humic acid, which really tells the cells to open up and accept what's good and to detox what's bad automatically. So it's a great product that I use first thing in the morning. I take a shot of that and then my glass of water, and I can put some lemon in it or put some salt in it if I want to. So
Barry asked the question, you know, and he's using Dr. Wallach, which, you know, I love Dr. Wallach's work. Dead Doctors Don't Lie. I think his work, his book is funny, humorous, and, you know, we've talked about it on the show quite a bit. I do believe that our product is a at least 2 times more superior product.
I agree.
Based on the raw materials that we sourced for Primal Edge. We used a formulator who usually formulates for professionals, more on the medical side than a commercial side. We used in-chain B vitamins. We used whole food synergists. The Essential 90 from Longevity has a lot of synthetic vitamins. I mean, it hits a lot of the bases, but I prefer whole foods. I enjoy the moringa. I like a food that has everything in it. And still, Primal Edge is a conglomerate product. In other words, we have a lot of different things. It's not just one whole food.
Right.
It's a lot of different ones. But boy, when you can really get one whole food that knows what to do with its, it's like a perfect symphony, right?
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
And the things like strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, the berries are always really good to help you detox. And
high in antioxidants.
yeah, and they come at a time of the year, if you're eating seasonally, that is you need it most. You're going into a whole new season, a colder season. You need to get rid of all that summer blahs and fall blahs that you've gotten into your body and kind of detox that.
A lot of people don't realize that the mints have some of the highest antioxidant activity. And, so, how easy is it to just, the next time you're at the store or the market, pick up a little mint plant? It's a pretty little addition to your kitchen counter, and grab a sprig and put it in your water.
Or if you're following the horse races, you can have a mint julep.
That's right.
Nah, it probably won't work. But ginger, medicinal benefits of ginger come from the ginger rolls. Is that how you
Gingerols, which is a phytochemical.
Those are not little rolls made out of ginger, I presume.
Gingerol.
Yeah. The oily resident from the root that acts as a highly potent antioxidant and anti-inflammatory agent. It gives, as it's an effective digestive aid and natural remedy for nausea. So that gives you an indication right there what it can do. Just when it cures nausea, nausea is caused by ingredients in your bloodstream that are affecting your brain negatively.
Correct, and rosemary and dandelion, many of the things that are the most healing we often spray and get rid of in our yards. I mean, there's probably not many yards that you can't find a dandelion weed.
Up north, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, and you're much better off if you just would enjoy and not spray those with toxic pesticides. Enjoy them in your smoothies, enjoy them in your salads. The dandelion is a fabulous green for helping to support liver kidney function.
Use this food for eons.
And helps to have healthy bile, and bile is how we emulsify fats. So again, it's kind of a bitter green. It helps to create that emulsification, so we break down our fat. One of my secrets, for those of you that enjoy Tiger Brew, or as it is more famously known, Dave Osprey's Bulletproof Coffee, you got a lot of fats going in there. Hopefully you can digest your food. We can talk about having good fats, but if you can't digest them, they're not going to be good. Not going to be good for you.
That's right.
So you can buy a product called Dandy Blend, which is roasted dandelion. It has a coffee beverage flavor. So when I have, if I have coffee, and many times I just drink the Dandy Blend, I'm enjoying having that alkalinity of the dandelion and, helping to stimulate the bile there. So there you go.
The number here, folks, is 877-927-6648. Please pick up some Primal Edge.
Yeah, and also pick up, you can find that in the back office with Tiger Dollars, and get our newsletter twice a month. Good stuff.
Yeah, that's for sure. We'll be right back. Be right back. You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, oil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
And welcome back to Living a Primal Lifestyle.
Yeah, we had a question to the den about how much H2O do we have first thing in the morning.
How do we rehydrate? And as we were just saying, when we are sleeping, we are doing some heavy-duty work. We're cleaning house. That's what we hope we are. Hopefully, you're not having a huge meal right before you go to bed.
Yeah, because you don't want to be digesting all night long.
Yeah, you want your body to be doing repair.
Yeah.
And you want it to be getting rid of toxins, packaging things up so that the kidneys and the colon will get the signal that it's time to eliminate. But, kind of going along, too, with Barry, who sent me an email, it's important to rehydrate. And that Dr. B, the Iranian doctor that cured a lot of diseases, found that many of the symptoms that people are experiencing are really a sign of dehydration, folks. Our body has many cries for water, and it sends out symptoms, and they may vary in different types of people. I think that's something, but when you're starting in the morning, the problem a lot of people do is they just chug a huge amount, and they don't have proper trace minerals to hold the water in the cells. And when you start adding healthy Himalayan, Celtic, preferably air-dried, non-heated sea salt, you want to start with, adding a little bit to your water and increasing the amount of ounces. But I really think you're going to feel your best if you get, before you do anything else, Primal Edge, breakfast, anything, if you can get 16 or so ounces of water in. Here's one of my colleagues shared a little blurb. You can also buy a hydrometer, folks. I can help you get one. We do one of my resources. Hydrometer, you can, through your skin, you can tell how, if you're hydrated. If at the cellular level you're hydrated, it's about $100 or so. You can probably get them on Amazon or two. This colleague of mine was talking about how his hydrometer reading was always low with 64 ounces of water upon rising for a few weeks, and then it moved to normal after a period of time by adding in 4 ounces of water with a half a teaspoon of pink salt. Drink it first thing, then wait 15 minutes later, because that's a pretty concentrated amount of salt water right away, just to kind of get the salt into the cells. And then 15 minutes later, drink 16 to 32 ounces of water, wait 10 minutes, and drink another 16 to 32 ounces. That's a lot of water. But boy, I can't tell you how many of us are actually experiencing symptoms because we're chronically hydrated.
And the biggest problem we talk about always is digestion, whether he's even absorbing the water properly with the types of minerals that are supposed to be in there that we aren't receiving, perhaps.
And then my friend, he waits an hour. So what's he doing in this early morning? He's hydrating and eliminating. I'm sure he's going to the bathroom too. I know it's going to help peristalsis. It's going to help the urine. It's going to help the colon move. And then he starts putting it in. I like that philosophy. Let's get stuff out before we put stuff in. And remember what we talked about, a lot of this toxicity we're seeing is because people are reabsorbing. If you're dehydrated, by the time you go through processing, when you're moving things through the large intestine, the bowel, the colon, before it comes out, if you're dehydrated, your body says, oh, I've got to reabsorb some water because I don't have enough hydration. It's going to take the water out of the stool. I know it's gross, but it's the truth.
Yeah. So. Well, another thing that happens, too, is that we're so in a hurry in the morning. You know, we've got our jobs to go to, so we're just going from one thing to another. You got your little routine in the morning that you have to get a half hour or an hour out at the door. I suggest to people is that wake up a little bit earlier, maybe an hour earlier, so you can just take your time and not be so stressed, because stress puts another limit on your digestive system.
Although it's a little tough now that we're getting up at 5 to get here at 6 so we can, or to leave at 6 so we can be here at 7.
Yeah, well, I'm here at 6:30 to set everything up with Al and everything. Right. So, you know, it does take time, and luckily I didn't have to shift because normally I would have customers at 6:30.
Right.
So I'm here at the same time and relatively close to the studio here, so that's nice. But hydration is a huge thing, and digestion is a huge thing, and they're really tied together. I think it's so important that, you know, when we talk about the type of diet we're on, we're kind of talking about you being healthy in the first place. So if you have problems with digestion, you've been on a high carbohydrate diet for years, and now all of a sudden your body doesn't recognize the fats as much. So the fats are kind of sitting there, you're not feeling too good because they're not being digested, and that takes hydrochloric acid. So we have different regimes that
bile.
And bile, yeah. So we have
and digestive enzymes, and if you've led your life eating devitalized processed foods that have zero enzymatic activity, then you're just probably not going to be digesting and absorb much of anything. For those of you that are interested, contact me. I work with a team of medical professionals. Consultatively, you can do a urinalysis test and figure out what are you digesting, what is your source of stress, where are you having problems in your digestive breakdown, but not just your digestion, but your assimilation, your absorption, and finally, what are you not eliminating or having trouble eliminating. So I think that's going to be real cool and a real great service. So let me know, Paige at TFNN.com if you're interested in that.
Yeah, you know, I had this guy that I teach jiu-jitsu in my fundamentals class, and of course a couple of weeks he came up to me and he said, oh, you're going to be proud of me, I started juicing. And of course, I started talking about, you know, why juicing is not good for you and stuff like that. So when I saw him the other day, I asked him, are you still juicing? He says, well, a little bit, but I've cut it down to little shots of 3 or 4 ounces, which is certainly better.
Well, especially if you're juicing a lot of real high sugar things.
Yeah, of course. But he's not. He's doing more vegetable too. But then he started asking. He says, well, so I started fixing the white rice. Like you said, white rice was better than brown rice. Yeah, but I said, well, wait a minute. No rice is that great, you know. You're trying to lose weight, you're trying to detox, you're trying to stabilize your whole system, and you're still putting in foods that are going to cause you problems. And then he asked me about quinoa. So, you know, what people are really looking for is the substitutes to their old comfort food. They can't imagine a world without it. That's how powerful these foods are. When you're talking about breads and pasta and wheat, your cereal in the morning, or your pasta at night, or your bread during the day, you're talking about the problems are stemming from those things. And now you're trying to find replacements for those things. Like, you know, people who are eating potatoes. Now okay, we're not going to do potatoes anymore. Let's do a sweet potato. I mean, it's the same family. Yeah, it's a little bit better, but why not just get off of all this garbage stuff that you don't need and just eat good food?
Well, some of the things that you just mentioned, I feel are good foods. And I feel like we're happiest when we have variety in our diet. And but I agree with you that particularly a lot of the people that get obsessed with the word gluten-free, and then they get all these potato starch, tapioca, grains, and so forth. But some of the things that you mentioned, I would beg to differ. But I agree with you on an extensive amount of juicing. But, you know, if you are a sick person and you have no digestive enzymes, juicing is one of the best best ways to get nutrients in the body, because you can't eat your meat who ate healthy food because you can't digest it.
About that. We're talking about a guy who would, take a 10-ounce glass of different juice in the morning. And
I see a lot of people that come to see me that have bellies and they wonder why, because they're vegans and they're juicing and they're just giving straight sugar. The better thing is if you want to use your high phytochemical, and I believe in high phytochemical eating. I believe in eating lots of color. But the smoothie is the better way to go, because you're going to get the fiber and you're going to get all those phytochemicals. Like, remember when I was just saying about the pith? In that cellulose fiber is where those chemicals are. The limonene, which has got the anti-cancer and the digestive factors of citrus, you don't find it in the fruit. It's in the rind. Nobody eats the rind. That's why you got to put like a little sliver of it in your smoothie, that bitter taste.
Sure, that's good advice for sure. Okay, we got another segment left, folks. The number here is 877-927-6648. Please pick up our Primal Edge, our newsletter, which comes out twice a month. I got a new one coming out next Tuesday, so stick around for that. Of course, in the breaking news section, you'll find a new stretch in there. It's called the SOA stretch, to help you because you're sitting all day watching the telestrator and stuff like that.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
No matter where you're listening to TFNN programming, you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones, iPads, and Android devices, located in the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV. But if you don't have a connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and call-in talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com. Educating investors. Join John Logan as he teaches you trading techniques utilizing the TAS Profile Scanner. The Global Market Pulse, next on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. I got a letter or email. We don't get letters anymore, but from Joyce the other day, and she was having a problem with a cyst, which is called a Baker's cyst. And she says, is there any recommendations for this, any vitamin I can take to lessen the pain with it?
I think she's called and she's coming to our talk.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told her a wrap can help, and they have this special wrap for the baker's cyst to help reduce it.
But a Baker's cyst is actually it's another symptom. The body is creating a fluid sac to protect an underlying injury. So again, it's about going back to what is the true source of stress, what really happened, and what we really need to do is figure out how to heal that injured knee.
Right. So I'm wondering, I wanted to ask you a question now. Baker's cyst, all this anti-inflammatory stuff that we're talking about in the detoxing seems like it would help with Baker's cyst along with the recommended stuff that usually happens.
Yeah, and I mean, you probably know as a active personal trainer and also a competitive athlete, better how to help physically what you're going to do with to lower that inflammatory response. But there are a lot of things that have strong, from the food kingdom, that have strong anti-inflammatory action and are much superior to some of this single item. All drugs do two things, folks. Listen to the two things they do. They block receptor sites and they stop enzyme reactions. And as a result, those two actions always create another cascade, something else down the cascade. So that's why if you see someone on one drug, you typically see them on 10 years later.
Yeah.
But in terms, for Joyce, putting her on, we've got anti-inflammatories in the Primal Edge. You know that I have been doing some research on the Moringa oleifera and noticing tremendous benefit of anti-inflammatory activity.
Right.
36 different anti-inflammatories. What does ibuprofen have? One, and it blocks receptor sites.
Yeah. And you can also use things like turmeric that we always talk about, and some of these things have applications as a cold press.
I see that Joyce is asking you, can she use a TENS unit on it? Joyce, you should call me. I actually use I can help you find something that produces a much greater result, but a TENS unit is the incorrect current for the human body for healing. A TENS unit is like a drug. It covers up the symptom, it temporarily stops the pain, but never creates the healing.
It creates
it's an AC
blood
current.
flow, right?
Well, the TENS unit creates an AC electrical current.
Instead of a DC.
Instead of a DC. We are DC. I have a device that I can help you get, or you can come by if you're close by. And they're, over the counter, and it's microcurrent, and it's safe, and that's really how you're going to.
Interesting because my physical therapist uses TENS a lot on all different kinds of injuries, and it does promote the blood flow. But I can see exactly what you're saying. It's not quite in sync with how we work.
If you want to get more information about, and you would like to learn, I'm trained in a device called the Dolphin Neurostem.
I'd be interested in seeing that too.
Neurostem. And actually, she should be offering this type of service. She's a licensed physical therapist, and
well, she has to go by what the book says. That's the problem.
Oh, there's plenty of occupational and physical therapists that use these devices.
Okay,
cool. These are medical doctors.
Send me some information so I can give it to Sylvia too. She may or may not know about it, but I thought it was kind of interesting. I thought a TENS unit would be exactly the thing that you could use.
TENS unit would certainly help with the pain, but temporarily, but usually very much the way a drug drives the dis-ease deeper. Homeopathy actually gets to the root cause.
Yeah, it's kind of like using Advil instead of a natural anti-inflammatory. So.
Correct.
Okay, folks, well, thanks a lot for sticking around. I hope we've helped you a little bit on the road to trying to do your own discovery, finding your own special diet, and living happy and positive.
We're all about health and healing empowerment, and empowerment means I'm a powerful mind. We want you to be powerful with the information we share with you. Hope you have a great rest of your week.
Yeah,
we'll see you on Thursday morning.
Yeah, Thursday morning. We'll be back at it. Thanks a lot, folks. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
You're watching Tiger TV.